Hello guys, hope you are doing well. In this video I'm going to solve the questions of the sheet which I have shared with you. Question number 1 to 12. The first question stated that how many moles of ions are produced by the dissociation of 1 mole of aluminum carbonate. Guys, the keyword is a dissociation here. Whenever you see the dissociation term, despite of that the salt is insoluble, you have to dissociate the salt. According to the guidelines of table of solubility, aluminum carbonate is insoluble. So once insoluble, it does not form any ions. D should be a correct answer. But here the examiner, when he wrote the question, he means that the assumed the salt is soluble. Assume that the salt is soluble. So you have to dissociate the salt into the two cations and three anions ion. So totally you'll get a 5 total ions in this. The C is the correct answer. But instead of dissociation, if the examiner asked for by the dissolution of 1 mole of aluminum carbonate, you have to check the solubility. If it's insoluble, it does not dissociate into ions, so it will form 0 moles. But if it's soluble, you have to dissociate it and to form the moles per formula unit of that salt. Question 2, guys. When solutions of two ionic compounds are combined in a solid form, the process is called. Of course, whenever you mix two solutions with each other and they will form a solid compound in the product, the process we call as precipitation. So the precipitation here is the correct answer. Which of the following pairs of solution produces a precipitate when combined? This is the same question of the quiz which we have done. The technique is that you have to exchange the ions to get an insoluble. So copper chloride is soluble and sodium nitrate is soluble. A is not correct. Iron chloride is soluble. Magnesium nitrate is soluble. So both salts are soluble. Copper carbonate is insoluble. Potassium nitrate is soluble. So C is the correct answer. Calcium nitrate is soluble. Sodium chloride is soluble. So the only one that form a precipitate is the C. The hydronium ion contains, we have discussed about this, that all the hydronium ions, when they will form, their structure is from the formation of 3 equivalent covalent bonds. So A is the correct answer, but B is stated the 3 covalent bonds but unequal strength. So all the bonds are equal in terms of strength. This is incorrect. And one ionic bond, it has no ionic bond, and one covalent and two ionic bond, it has no ionic bond, the hydronium. In water solution of HCl, the free H positive, which we call as a proton ion, is. So guys, whenever asked about the H positive proton has no existence in the solutions. Instead, the hydronium, it shows itself as the hydronium in the form of hydronium, so has no existence, is not present. D is the correct answer. Formation of hydronium ion in nitric solution. Guys, the question, the intention of the question is that whether the ions from that compound is favorable or not. Whenever the compound is a strong base, strong acid, and soluble salts, the formation of the ions are favorable. because they completely ionize or dissociate to form ions. But if it's weak acid and weak base, it's unfavorable because it will form ions but not completely, partially dissociate or ionize. So nitric acid is a strong acid, so the formation of the hydronium and the ions in the solution is favorable, and the formation of hydronium is an exothermic, so C is the correct answer, which is favorable and releases energy. Question number 7, it's calculation a little bit. Let us solve the question. What mass of NaCl? So the mass of NaCl is the requirement, and the molar mass is given. Needs to make a 1.5 molar solution. The molality is given, and the mass of the solvent is given. Guys, in order to calculate the mass, we have to calculate the mole. So we have this equation: the molality is equal to mole of the solute per kilogram of solvent. So we have molality and the kilogram, we can find the mole. So the mole is equal to, the molality is 1.5, multiply, this should be kilogram, 0.3 kilograms, because we have to divide by 1000. So this you'll get the mole, and multiply this by the molar mass, 58.44, you'll get the mass. Multiply this by 50 by the molar mass, you'll get the correct answer, which is A, 26.3. That's calculation and easy. The attraction of water molecules overcomes the strength of covalent bonds in. Guys, I have provided the same questions, such type of question in the quiz. It means that in the molecules, the molecular compounds which they ionize, which they form ions, because whenever a molecular compound exists, they will form, they undergo through the ionization and they will form ions. All molecular substances, no, the all molecular substances, they do not undergo through the ionization. So the we have sugar and alcohol, they undergo through the dissolution, they dissolve, but they do not undergo through the ionization. Molecular substances that are electrolyte, of course, all of the molecular substances which are electrolytes, they undergo through the ionization. Molecular substances that are not electrolyte, they do not undergo through ionization because they do not form ions. None of the above, so the B is the correct answer. 9 molecular substances contain ionic bonds, polar covalent bonds, non-polar covalent bonds, either polar covalent bond or non-polar covalent bonds. Guys, we have molecular compounds that the bonds are polar, and molecular compounds that the bonds are non-polar. So we have discussed about the polarity and non-polar compounds. So D is the correct answer. The molecular compounds, either polar covalent or non-polar covalent bonds can be. Dissolving HCl in water produces, so this is just the reaction of the HCl. Whenever the HCl reacts with water, it will produce the ions HCl, reacts with the H2O to produce a hydronium ion, because this HCl donates a proton to the H2O to form hydronium, and then the remainder is Cl negative. So these two should be formed in the solution, hydronium and Cl negative. So A is the correct answer. Which of the following is a hydrated proton? Hydrated proton is any a compound that has a structure of H O, if the O number is N, suppose that it's N, for the hydrogen we have to multiply N by 2 and plus 1 added by 1. So hydrogen ion, no, of course. Hydronium ion, yes. Hydronium ion can be a hydrated proton also. It's a hydrated proton. A water molecule, no. A hydrogen chloride molecule, no. So B is the correct answer. But we do not have only hydronium as a hydrated proton. We have more than one structure of the hydrated proton. Question number 12. When a weak acid dissolves, all of the solid molecules ionize? No, because guys, the weak acids are those that molecular compounds that they ionize partially. So all of the molecules they do not ionize. The boiling point decreases. No, of course, this is related to the colligative properties. Whenever we add a solute into a solution, its boiling point elevates, not decreases. The solution does not carry electricity. The solution carry electricity, so it's incorrect. It's weak electrolyte, the solution of weak acids. And hydronium is produced. Of course, hydronium would be produced through the reaction. Thank you for the attention.